Hi guys, I'm happy. I'm really happy with everything that's been happening. I'm happy. Do you know why I'm happy? Because I've been threatened. And if there's one thing guaranteed to make me smile and get back into the game, it's threats. They really motivate me. They make me feel alive again. Yeah, there I was feeling down, real life piling in on me. And then I get some news about some crazy dude who I've spoke about in the past, told you not to bother him, leave him alone, because he's been, I see him as a pitiful figure. He's going to set his spook friends on me, find out all about me. I don't know why he doesn't just send them to where I live. I've never hid my identity. My name is Paul Morris. I'm on Facebook as Paul Morris. I'm on YouTube as Paul Morris. I'm on X as Paul Morris. And you know where I am every Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. I'm in the club. I don't hide behind a false identity, although I do prefer to be called the Green Arrow or GA. Why have so-called fellow nationalists turned on me? Well, I don't think they're really fellow nationalists. I don't know what they are, but they're not British nationalists. They took offence because I've done a series of videos with Korean girls in the background. For those of you who don't know, early on in this channel's life, I ran a series of stories, if you like, in the background with the background images like the one you see behind me. One of the storylines was in the bunker, these 3 hot Korean girls moved in, yeah? They were here on work permits. Anyhow, as the days and the weeks passed, there was always a different story about them. They were very popular. They got dressed up, went and got drunk in Porthcawl, got arrested by the police. We saw them in their prison outfits, bailed them out. Then I went for a day, away for a day, and I came back and they'd opened up a nail parlour in there, yeah. I was saying I wish I'd brought in some Chinese girls so we could have opened up a laundrette. Yeah, it was quite funny. Then they brought their grannies in. And when the Korean girls weren't coming into the bunker, it was the Women's Institute there. And they'd be making cakes, all part of a running storyline that was supposed to be humorous. And most people did take it as humorous. Yeah. Oh, and then we had, you see on my left, on the right of your screen, the little Inuit girl and her dog team. She got lost when she was looking for whatever happened to some famous explorer's expedition. And she went south instead of north and wound up in our bunker. So she's there. Oh, the English girls then, they'd be there playing darts against the Koreans, teaching the Korean girls how to play darts. It was really fun. They'd be out in their gardens and stuff like that. They'd all have discos and parties. The Beatles were playing. They used to practice in the bunker. We'd wonder if Ringo would ever learn to play the drums. It was all done in good fun. I enjoyed making them, and it gives some of you a laugh and a smile. Of course, there's always one, isn't there? One pathetic, pitiful old man living in the past with no sense of humour, who surrounded himself with, I don't know, probably the 77th Brigade. People who were not nationalists, hoping to whip up strife in the nationalist community. Yeah, that's him down there in the bottom right corner. I've made him a critic. Yeah, he's not happy that there's Korean girls in our bunker. Oh, They're not nationalists. They say I'm not a nationalist. Some have unsubscribed from the channel. I think it's about 10 of them. Well, if I've upset him, I'm not concerned. A real nationalist, he can bend in the wind, he doesn't break. They're also pragmatic. They play to a longer game. They don't understand it. They say they're purists. Yeah. They'd rather see the end of the United Kingdom and say right at the end, I was a purist. Yeah. That's really going to help us, isn't it? This virtual bunker that you see behind me, it's just a part of the humour of this channel. It's not a manifesto. It's not a policy document for Restore Britain. And it's not up for ideological inspection. I know my political beliefs, and they are hard right, real hard right, yeah. But pragmatic hard right. I support Britain. I support all 4 pillars of the United Kingdom. I'm a British nationalist, I suppose you could say. I support our people. I do what I do for my great-granddaughter and for the children of this country who are going to have to live in it after people like myself are gone. We've got to put this country right for them, haven't we? That said, I retain the right to laugh, tell stories, enjoy harmless nonsense, flirt with the girls, talk about my wife, make jokes about her putting piano wire across to the top of the stairs, as if she'd do a thing like that. Nah, she's got an old kitchen full of tools she could use if she really wanted to do me in. Listen, if you want a channel with no humour, no imagination, I don't know, no room for the friendly characters I populate this little bunker with, then this isn't the channel for you. Get on over somewhere where there's a different agenda and revel in a pitiful old man's misery over there. Go join him in the bottom right of this image. Patriotism is a serious business, but you can also do it with humour. The British have a remarkable sense of humour in the darkest times. Ex-servicemen sometimes have a dark sense of humour. Excuse me a second, I gather my thoughts. Pause, Paul. Everything we're going through. Imagine being upset by some fictional characters playing darts in an imaginary bunker. I was in the Royal Navy, surviving foreign ports, shipboard humour. These guys would never survive in the Royal Navy. I doubt if they'd survive in the Army, or even the RAF. Even the RAF had a sense of humour. Mess deck songs, runs ashore, singing, joking, travelling the world. I'm sure this channel can survive the attacks of fake patriots who have a problem with fictional girls opening a fictional nail bar. Anyhow, I don't know why the attack reminded me of that poem. What was it now? Yeah. You know, there's a green-eyed little idol to the north of Kathmandu, where a crazy-eyed woman guards the grave of Mad Karoo. Yeah, I think it was The Green Eye of the Little Yellow God by Milton, someone like that. Anyhow, So I went and talked to Sam about it, and we were having a laugh. And I said, give us some prompts. And I said, come up with a poem about all the images that we've done for the Korean Girl series and the Bunker series with the different visitors. Oh, I forgot to mention the one where we had the American tourists. Said when when we had more members, I'd stop the American tourists visiting the bunker. They take them around on guided tours. Anyhow, so I got this poem. I'm going to read it to you. Pause, Paul, clear your throat. The poem is called The Green Arrow and the Little Bunker God. There's a one-eyed little critic at the north end of the chat with a keyboard full of thunder and a very battered hat. He had watched the Green Arrow bunker and he gave a dreadful groan, for the Korean girls were dancing around a gramophone. Now the bunker was respectable with a kettle on the boil and a map of dear old Britain that had seen a bit of toil. There were darts upon the dartboard, there was coffee in a mug, and an Inuit girl from nowhere with a husky on the rug. But the critic cried, disaster, this is not the proper way. There are girls from South Korea in the bunker here today. There are grannies in the corner, there is music, there is cheer. This is meant to be a movement, not a blooming cabaret here. Then the Green Arrow rose calmly from his chair beside the screen, with a look of naval patience and a mug marked, keep it clean. He said, friend, this is my bunker, and we do things with a grin. If the ladies brought a nail file, then by thunder let them in. For the country may be troubled, and the news may often bite, but a channel without laughter, it is a miserable sight. We can talk of laws and borders, we can question, probe and fight, but we'll still have Korean disco on a rainy Tuesday night. Then the grannies started clapping, and the darts team gave a cheer, while the husky ate a sandwich and upset the ginger beer. The English girls threw trebles, the Koreans answered back, and the critic dropped his keyboard with a most alarming crack. Then out came old Mad Carew's ghost from a cupboard near the tea, saying, I once pinched an emerald, but this is strange to me. I have faced a yellow idol and a curse from Kathmandu, but I never met a bunker with a disco and a queue. Then the Green Arrow said gently, Mad Carew, you're welcome too, but kindly wipe your boots, lad. There's a polish on the flue. We've got patriots, we've got poets, we've got grannies, dogs and girls, and a nail salon that sparkles like the crown jewels pearls. Now the critic looked bewildered as the music filled the hall, for he found no wicked plot there, no betrayal, none at all. Only laughter, tea and nonsense, only stories light and free, and a bunker full of people who were as glad could be. So remember, stern inspectors, when you come to test the tone, you may guard your little idol, you may grumble on your throne, but the Green Arrow's bunker will not freeze for want of fun, and the disco starts at 7 when the serious work is done. For Britain needs her backbone and her humour and her heart, and a people who can argue, then still have a game of darts. So let the critics mutter, let the thunderheads appear. The Korean girls are staying, and the grannies want a beer. There you go, guys. AI poem with only a little bit of assistance from myself. Thanks, guys, for kicking me back into action. You fall off a horse, you should get back up on it straight away. Now, I'm not going to go off and do a response to the threats against me. Why should I? In the same way that I consider Advance UK, Retreat UK done and dusted, and Paul Thorpe, part of the past, Richard Inman, part of the past. After Saturday, come Sunday, Monday, the UTK rally will be history. Tommy will have had his roadshow. He'll have made some money. There won't be any accounts. There wasn't any accounts for 2024. There wasn't any accounts for 2025, and there won't be no accounts for 2026. The people who go, well, their money, if they paid a lot of money to get there, then, well, it's their money. If it made them feel better, fine. But the UTK rally will soon be forgotten within days. Yeah, governments don't listen, do they? So the show goes on, guys. Green Arrow live every morning from 8 a.m. until 9 a.m. on live stream, and in the evening 8 p.m. to either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. You've been listening to Paul Morris, the Green Arrow, enjoying time in his bunker with the fictional Korean girls, the fictional Women's Institute, the little Eskimo girl and their dog team, and the British girls having a game of darts. Oh, and still feeling nothing but pity for that poor old man down there in the corner on the right. What a sad person you are. Move on, fella.